Welcome to the mop here on a Thursday morning. That's right, the morning before bowling. Bowl tonight. We'll see how it goes. So far, the last 2 weeks have been pretty good. Actually, the whole last 6 weeks have been pretty good. So we'll see how it goes. Always different. But welcome to the mop, and you just can't make this up. So let me get this straight. We are saying that the Democrats do not want the files released because now there's Democrats being proven to be. I don't give a shit. Okay? If they all, and this shouldn't be redacted, retracted, scrubbed, bubbed, whatever. Now, because it went through so quick and everybody signed it so quick, now I think is why the investigation is going to prove that somebody just doesn't want them to come out yet. Because now they're going to be able to hold some of it back because of the investigative stance that Miss Bondi has. However, she said before there's nothing left to investigate. So how do we reopen investigation on something that's not left to investigate? Oh, there's new stuff. Bullshit. It's the same stuff. And how do we know what we're going to get to see is the truth? Oh, I know how. The survivors are going to come out with their own list. And if you don't think they have a list, you're going to be a world awake. And I don't give a crap who's on the list. They all need to pay. If there were minors and stuff involved, and this was, I don't care if they weren't minors. If they were forced into positions that they should not have to be in, somebody needs to pay the piper. And right honestly, I don't trust anybody in the legal side of things. That's going to happen no matter what. But yet, it'll come to the left. The right's going to blame the left, saying yada, yada, yada. Well, they don't want the list, so now they're going to be. And they had it for 4 years and didn't want to see it. You guys just, it cracks. It's just sad. It is a sad world we live in. We have people that are so miseducated on health issues. We have so many people that are not educated on a lot of things because people don't want the truth. I think that's why I come up to the point of testing every well in Gotham. When I went to sell my mom's house, there was so much bacteria in it that I had to shock the well twice and then run a garden hose for almost a solid week to get it all out. And then it's going to change probably anyway. Well, Chris, how can it be contaminated there? Well, there's a farmer north of us that spreads 21 million gallons of shit for square miles everywhere, hauling it everywhere. But especially in the lowland around by Gotham, you don't think that's made the water table? You don't think that flows towards the river and everybody's well in Gotham is contaminated? And these people, a lot of them don't know it. So I feel that it should just be a mandatory thing for the board to make sure testing gets done. They pay for. And if anything is found, we need to start from there and then research further and keep testing wells and water on up and see where it ends. See where the good water is. See, that's the problem. Is when you have money, you can get away with things. When you don't have money, you pay for things, whether it's your health, well-being, whatever it may be. The wealth portion in this country isn't just the fact of what they can buy and purchase. It is what they can buy and purchase to get out of situations, not homelessness or anything like that. I'm talking about legal battles. Any of us would have been involved in any of these things, we'd have been locked away already. But because the almighty power And I don't care if everybody in government right now is on that list. And if we go, oh shit, if we arrest everybody on the list, we won't have anybody in politics. Then so be it. We will have to handle it. But to sit here and argue about whose side is more interested in the files being released is fucking asinine. It's ridiculous. Release them unaltered, wide open, or else let's just have the poor victims of these situations have their say and get their justice. Can you imagine living in this world right now as a victim and you wondered why one of them committed suicide? Can you imagine going through the hellhole that they went through and everybody's arguing about who wants to see them to who doesn't? And then everybody's saying, well, if you don't want to see him now because I don't care. I wasn't happy that Clinton got away with what he did, having an intern under his table or his desk. It's an abuse of power that should have been handled way differently and to begin with. But we have a convicted felon as a president. We have a guy that has been proven to pay off women and everything else. And see, this is where our judgment as society, and if you look at J.D. Vance's stance that, oh, by the way, women shouldn't be allowed to vote, take a look at what his church's stance is for women. See, I was raised by a strong, independent female that was very bullheaded, very stubborn, very set in her ways. So yes, when her mind started to go from Alzheimer's, it was a mess because she did everything for a long time on her own. Was it the right way? Probably not. But she did it. So don't sit here and tell me that women should, be happy that they just have jobs or that they are treated the way they are. But then you have a vice president who is also married to somebody that's not full-on American here, according to some of your standards. Her skin is not the same color as what you want. If you're happy about the ICE raids that are not really doing what they said, they're not taking the die-hard criminals. They're looking at skin color mostly. It's a racist thing. But to have people sit here and then say, oh, women shouldn't be allowed to vote. Women shouldn't be allowed to do this. Their job is this. No. Kiss off, if that's how you believe. And if you don't like where I come from, don't watch my stuff every day. Don't pay attention. And that's okay, it won't bother me. I am just here to do what I do to clear this. Because yesterday, I actually went to bed really early because my mind was shot because we had a hell of a day here at work. And that's part of having brain damage is it just shocks the shit out of my system. And I just have to lay down. But to listen to these people, if you have any kind of common sense whatsoever, and see, I know where some of these MAGA people come from, and I know their past. A few of them are very abusive, were very abusive, controlling to women, very not respected to law enforcement. See, that's what normally comes to mind for me. So if I want to make a general statement, such as what was made yesterday and what I read, that Democrats don't want to see, and that's where you're clumping all of us because we don't like Trump. You're putting me in a Democrat status. I'm not happy with some of the shit they do. I want what's right for the general public and for those that are here to help us. See, some of these people that are here illegally, we don't want to help them to become legal. We just say, oh, you need to. Do you know how hard that is for a lot of people? or how much money it takes to do that? Well, the president kind of summed it up. For $5 million, he'll help you along. These guys are doing shit that none of us would do. I have a farm just down the road from me. I guarantee you would not get people to work the hours that these guys are working in the environments they work in. Wouldn't happen. You won't get high school kids to do it, that's for damn sure. The days of like when I grew up in Aiken, Tate and his family owned a turkey farm. Of the guys that left school and didn't leave school, they went and worked on the turkey farm to put turkeys in trucks for a living for the hours at night. That's how they just grew up. And then they'd come to school and do all their stuff. But I'm saying leave school and then go to the turkey farm and load truck all night, and then come back to school and go to school for the morning. You don't find that anymore. There isn't the hardcore peers, like full-on football team that was just all a bunch of farm boys that whooped ass because they were growing up on farms. There's not too many farms anymore that are throwing square bales. We're all bigger, better, getting bigger, need more. I got to milk 3,500 head, got to milk 5,000 head. And how do you make sure that it is all healthy and good milk? See, that's where I come from. Because even on small farms, you would have the problem once in a while with sick cows. Well, right now, we have a very sick government on both sides. And people are saying, well, they're picking on us, so we're going to pick on them. And it's like kindergarten playground. And it might be a little older than that, first or second grade, maybe. That's where I put it at. We should really just set up a big juggle gym and maybe some dodgeball, tetherball. Tetherball was always good. You know, I think we should set up a few of those out on the playground out at the White House. Maybe we should have that. Dodgeball would be a good one with the good rubber balls to the head. I think some of these guys have forgotten what that's like. And we could set up the right and the left. And then we could do the middle, like with Bernie Sanders and those that are different. They're kind of like independent. They could be the judges. And let them beat the shit out of each other. Floor hockey. Oh, that was always fun. On the scooters, getting your fingers ran over, getting them pinched in between the two boards. Yeah, maybe we could do some of those games to make this a lot more fun to watch than what we're seeing today of who arguing with who. And have you noticed how dug in people are? Whether you're right or left, they're really dug in and they're pissed off. And they're going to prove their point with these Epstein files. But now Pam Bondi's saying, well, we can't release them probably for another 30 days. Well, where are they? Who's got access to them? Do we have a camera on them? Do we know that they're in the evidence locker? Or are they being scrubbed as we speak to make it work for some and not the others? See, that's where I come as a criminal justice major. I don't trust people, period. I saw too many people in cases go really good human beings, but when things started to tweak a little bit, it didn't take long or much to get them to go the other direction. And I have a feeling that you are going to see a big wave come midterm time. And I'm pretty sure that's why Marjorie Taylor Greene has changed her attitude. And listening to her still makes me kind of ill, because I think she's realizing that the boat she tried to steer for so long has some holes in the sails. So it's not moving where she wanted it to for long. Because it's going to happen. My mom relayed this in my head at a very young age. Karma's a bitch. And if people mistreat you and they don't do right, it will come back to bite them right in the ass. And you won't be going to hell in a handbasket. That's another one she always used. This world's going to hell in a handbasket. Yeah. Whatever that always meant. I never understood it totally. But that's where we're at. So, off to bowling tonight. First, I have to go help my son with something. And then he's got to go somewhere. I think I know where. And then it's deer camp for him for like, I don't know, 9 days. Lucky bastard. So, very lucky man. He is. Did get to do that. Got to see him the other night without the lights and blues. You know, no reds and blues. I don't get to see him that way because having a son as a deputy makes you slow down, makes you do things, because he's going to be the first one that would want to write me a ticket. So, with that said, thank you for tuning into the mop. And yeah, you just can't make some of this shit up. It just doesn't work because it's absolutely hysterically not funny, if that makes sense. It's a very sad predicament we're in. But take time to bless somebody. The holiday season is coming. To think there are people that don't get to enjoy a holiday meal because they can't afford it, or that their benefit, whatever. Take time to have sympathy, to have compassion, to really look at where people are. Because you know what? Some people that are hurting the most don't show it because they're not going to ask for help. They're not going to, because they know where the environment is right now. So the mental health crisis just continues to get bad. Take time to start understanding the environment around you and the people around you. That's the key. Again, I don't do what I do for Alzheimer's for medals, accolades, or anything. I'm just trying to make a difference that helps me. It personally helps me feel accomplished. I don't need people to say, hey, Chris, great job, great job, great job. And quite honestly, I don't get it because, yes, it's $14,000 that I raised in the year, but I don't ever think it's enough because I don't think that goes very far for something that's so dangerous. So take time to get to know the people around you. And if you see somebody struggling, take time to help them. It may change somebody's life permanently. Have a great day. I'll talk to you tomorrow morning after bowling. We'll let you know how that goes tonight. And I'll be back with another edition of the mop, headed into Widow Friday for deer season. Yeah, I never understood that concept either. Oh, I know why, because the husbands are going to the woods or whatever. But I know a lot of really good female hunters. Maybe the females go. I don't know what then you would call it. Well, it'd still be Widow Friday, I guess. If the females went and the guys went to the strip club. I don't know. That's what usually is taking place, though. It's always weird. I don't correlate that either with Chippendales and all that stuff on a Friday night before deer season. Because the ruts, I don't know. Never mind. Anyway, I'll be back tomorrow. Have a great day. And as always, take time to bless somebody.